Alright, normally I don't post more than once a week, but I think that Jaden's video deserves a reaction. First I want to say thank you for being brave enough to talk about that. I know that a lot of people don't want to. That's an ugly topic. It's gross, and I say gross, that's not the right word at all. It's hard and it hurts and it's frightening, and so people don't like it. And we shy away from it, and you're right, it's something we should talk about more. It's something that everybody should try to come to terms with. I think it's interesting that you say that we're a nation that has forgotten how to die, or something along the lines of that. That's probably not verbatim. I don't know if we've forgotten how to die. I mean, like, obviously I can't go back in time and, like, see how they dealt with death, but I think that grief is sort of universal in that, like, we don't use the same customs to, like, deal with it, and we don't... But it's certainly a universal emotion, and I don't know that it ever changes. I don't know that it ever is different. And the fear of death, I think, is probably also universal. I mean, it's not... Belief will certainly, like, religious beliefs and things will certainly change your views on that. But I've never met anybody who was so certain of their religion that death was a non-issue. Who was so certain of where they were going that death wasn't a problem for them when they were faced with it in a very, like, real and, unalterable way. When death becomes a certainty, everyone in my experience is afraid. That said, I don't have any experience working with the dying or the sick or the aged, so I don't know what it's like to watch that sort of procession. But it sounds tragic and terrible. So, I do know, however, what it's like to be around people who want to die. Which is a very different, I think, sort of young people who are able-bodied and seem to have the world going for them who want to die. Which is a lot different, I think. And it's the same, it's really interesting. Erica is here tonight, and we actually had a long talk about this sort of thing, before I started filming this. Yeah, I might, here, come say hi. This is Erica. Hello.
Hello.
Meet Jaden and Becca, not that you can see them, but they
Hi, Jaden and Becca.
Yay! See, you're not even, like, weird about it. I love that. We actually talked about this earlier. And I say earlier, just fucking now. We just had this conversation. Because I think it's something that probably should have, like, it's easier if you talk about it first and, like, get your shit all lined out. But, I thought that I would, like, focus my video. I feel like Jaden has said everything, for the most part, that there is to say about death in that way. Because I don't know what else there is to add, because I don't have any experience with it. I don't know what it's like to, you know, comfort grieving families. But assisted suicide being, for the most part, murder is certainly something I can relate to. I have a friend named, well, you guys are both familiar with Xayada. She has a friend who, she came to me and she said, well, I have this friend, and she showed me some emails from him, which was totally probably an invasion of his privacy, and, but I did read them. I'm a terrible person. And she said if he ever asks me to help him commit suicide, I will do it. And for a long time, I still kind of don't know how I feel about that. It's really, this is a really hard topic, because suicide is fucking hard. Like, it's weird. As somebody who's been on, like, both sides of that coin, I feel like I at least have, enough experience to speak, at least from a personal standpoint, about, like, how anyway, it's easy for people to say that suicide is, like, selfish and shit, because obviously, in some lights it is, because you're leaving, people behind. Like, you commit suicide, you kill yourself, you're done. That's, you've said your piece, you're gone. You don't have to mourn yourself. You don't have to mourn the life you could have, lived. You don't have to, you know, it's especially hard when it's children, because every child who dies, becomes more than a child, sort of. oops, laptop went dark. They become this sort of idealized thing that would have been, they're a huge hole left in the world for everybody who knew them. Because, of course, you know, they would have been president, or they would have been shit, and even, most certainly, they would have just been a normal human being. But it's not like that for the people that you leave behind. And in that light, it is selfish. But I think that to say that is an oversimplification. And, it's selfish, I think, to ask people to stay. You know, to say, well, I know that you're hurting this fucking bad, and that everything is dark and hopeless for you, and that every day is a struggle, and that you get up and you're just like, please fucking kill me. It's selfish to look at that and say, oh, fuck you, sad kid. Put on your big girl panties. Quit being an ass. Like, it's selfish to do that, too. And it's hard.
That's just hateful.
That's right, though? Like, that's fucking... we can talk forever about... like, what fucking, about society's reaction to depressed people and, like, how we treat them. Anyway, that's a whole separate,
that's a story for another time.
Right? Fuck it. But, there is, it's, Kessa and I have had conversations, and she asked me, like, how I felt. She said, well, let's say that everybody has, like, a 0 to 100 happiness meter. 100 being, like, the happiest, you're fucking euphoric all the time. And you know, for a fact, that somebody, you know somebody, and they're never going to get above 20. Do they have the right to kill themselves? And I was like, I guess, like, with your own body, you have the right, I guess, to do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, it's your body. If you're not hurting anybody else, but, I mean, and I say that, and that should be the end of it, right? Like, we should just say, well, it's your body. It's sort of like, it's like, you can do whatever you want. But it's harder than that, because human life is like this big, mysterious ball of shit that we don't understand, and that we, like, place all this value in. And as somebody who feels really strongly about human life, and about how great people are, like, you guys know, like, I just fucking lose my shit when I think about how awesome people are, and like, woo, we're doing things, people are connecting somewhere, somebody's talking to someone else and shaking their hand, and people are making friends and fighting with each other. That shit's great to me. And so, when I see people ending that and taking that out of the world, it hurts me. And even if I don't know you, like, I cry for that. And it's hard, right? Because there are other, like, everybody, like, suicide causes ripples in ways that other things don't. And so it's hard to simplify it as, well, your body, your rules. I don't necessarily think that suicide is brave. Marquesa thinks that it's the bravest thing you can do, and I don't think that that's true. Because I think that if you hate life so much that you would rather die, then, like, the fear of the unknown is less, like, for most people, like, at that point, life is scarier than death. At least in my experience, and the people, in my own personal thing, and the people that I've talked with, life is scarier than death, and so death is the better option. And so in that case, actually, the bravest thing to do would be getting the fuck up in the morning. But I know that's hard. Like, I know that that's fucking impossible sometimes. And so, like, what do you do there? What do you say to someone? Because you can't say, well, things will get better. Because A, it's trite. And it's shitty. Like, that does not help anyone. And also you don't know that's true. You can't say 100% certain, well, things will get better for you. As awesome as it would be, like, some people just live shitty lives. It happens. It doesn't happen often. I don't know of anybody who has never had good things happen to them. But it does happen, I suppose. Like, was it fucking John Keats? Everybody in his family died of TB, and then he died of TB, and everything was just a pile of shit and sadness. Like, you could live that life. And then you have a fucking reason to kill yourself. No, everybody who is sad for a reason. But, no, and so there's, like, just all this madness surrounding suicide and, like, thoughts about it. And I'm not very eloquent. That's an issue we're having. I apologize for that. And I'm not very coherent always. I don't always say the things that I mean to say. So work with me. Jaden, I've already gone past your time on this video. I'm sorry.
Got all the reaction video that's longer
Right?
than the video.
I know. I'm so sorry, you guys. I keep doing this to you. Please forgive me. I'm a terrible person. But I think
you're a lovely person.
Thank you. See. But thank you for doing this. I'm sure it's a little bit awkward, at least. Although you don't really feel awkward.
I never feel awkward about anything, which is why I can grow up strangers in public and not worry about it.
Yay! Anyway. So, I mean, these are important subjects that we need to talk about. I mean, because people shy away from them. Becca, I'm sorry if you don't want me to say this, kill me, shoot me down, because I know I'm quoting our conversation out of context and out of, like, I should ask you before I do it, but I'm not. I'm sorry, because I'm already making the video and I'm 11 minutes in, and I would have to go back and record 11 minutes worth of video over again. But, you know, Becca, you said that you don't like talking about things like this, and that's alright.
Nobody does.
Yeah, nobody does. That's, like, there's certainly nothing to be, like, ashamed of.
Part of the human condition.
Right, the human condition is to be afraid of things like this, because we are afraid of them. It's scary and it's frightening, and nobody wants to get up and think, well, my best friend might kill themselves today. What do I do about that? Do I have a moral obligation to let them die because they are that sad? Or do I have a moral obligation to keep this, like, quote-unquote, even if you're not religious, human life is, like, fucking fascinating. And it's great, and all this possibility, like, there's something beautiful and amazing in that. And it's bigger than I can comprehend, right? Like, Kenny killed himself. And what sort of hole did he leave in the world when he did that? Like, there are people who would have met him maybe by chance if he, you know, whoever would have met him isn't going to now, and whatever he would have done isn't going to happen. And so, like, all of these things, like, all of these people are going to go through the world without having met him. And what difference is that going to make in their lives? What difference is it going to make in the world that this person isn't here now? And I know that's probably not the most important question, but it's the one that I ask because it's the first one that hits me. And I don't know why that is. Maybe that's the wrong reaction.
So you go for the butterfly effect?
Is it? Like, it's sort of like, well, sort of,
yeah. I mean, not to that extreme, of course, but, like, you could think, like, well, what would be different? And it's basically the same thing.
It's sort of really similar, and I didn't really think of it, but mostly it's because I'm so fascinated, I'm so in love with people, that I always wonder how it affects.
See, I'm not, but it's still, like, a heartbreaking, upsetting thing when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. No, it's hard.
No.
And so, like, people don't like talking about it, but it's important. I mean,
I really don't like talking about it, but,
Thank you for putting up with this, then. But, you know, like, they say one has only a life of one's own.
I talk about a lot of things I don't like talking about. So.
Yeah, thank you. That's good, though.
No,
That's good. It's good to cross those boundaries, and it's good to open, like, pathways for discussion like this up. Because not only do we need to be, like, ready for it when it happens, but we also need to know how to prevent it, if that is...
Right.
Like, or not even... Or if we don't have it... If preventing suicide isn't what we should do, then what should we do to prevent people, to take care of people so that they don't try to kill themselves? What can society... But again, we can't talk about that because this video will be a half hour long.
We really can't. But I feel that it is important to add that it really, like, as much as you would like to help the person, it really... They're the only one who can find that reason for living.
Oh, that's true, though. Like, that's, like... And that's, in the end... Like, you have, like, I know, like, you do all the heavy lifting yourself, right? All the hard, nitty-gritty shit that comes with, like, rising above your depression, you do yourself.
Finding that reason to get out of bed that morning.
Like, that's on you. And, like, and I think that's another thing, like, society really fucks up, is that, like, we have all these movies and these stories about, well, true love saved somebody and shit, and, like, that helps.
Or, like,
having people who love
going through high school and, like, all those things that it's, like, if you see somebody with these signs that they might kill themselves, you have to act. You have to help prevent this. Well, if they're fucking determined to do it, they're gonna do it, whether you tell your teacher or that you think they might or not.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, obviously it's a good Oh my god. Sorry, Megan. That's another story for another day. I just got a text. Ignore me. Fuck her. Anyway. Holy shit, no. Okay, computer went black. Yeah. 15 minutes in, I'm so sorry, you guys. If you stop halfway through this, I don't blame you. I really don't.
If I wasn't here, it probably wouldn't have taken so long.
That's okay, like, we're still, like, these are important things to say, so I don't feel so bad. I told them in the beginning that I wasn't gonna make videos longer than 5 minutes. Oh, I know. Yeah. But like so you do the heavy bits yourself, and it helps to have people who love you. Obviously, a good support system and people who fucking care about you, and a society that does its job helps. But they can't. They can't raise you above your shit.
That doesn't always.
At least not in my experience ever. Like
not even in my own experience. Like.
Yeah. Right? Like, in the end, it's always...
there's no... It doesn't matter how many people try and help you. If you can't find that, like, a reason to live, just one fucking reason, then it's over.
Right. Like, and I don't know,
You might as well not be living if you're that far gone that all you can think about is how to... Oh, trust me, been there, done that.
Like I've been there too, but I don't know if, I don't know, and, you have to ask yourself again, can these people, make this decision? That's something we were talking about earlier. But, do we treat depression like every other, mental disability? I don't...
When you're, that deep into it, and, looking back on it, I can, see more than, because you have kind of, that tunnel vision going on of, all you can... That's your entire life right there is just swallowed by your depression it's so terrible. It's it really is physically drowning.
Oh, I know. Actually, that's actually when I was talking to my therapist and stuff. That's always the analogy. I say really depression is drowning and anger is burning, and so I chose to be angry because it was easier to live that way.
Oh yeah. I went the same route. But when you're that far gone and you can't find a reason, I mean it really is drowning and there's no life raft.
Right. No, I definitely.
So all you're doing is treading water. Well, eventually you're not gonna be able to struggle anymore.
And that's the point at which you I don't even know, but it's so fucking hard because this whole issue is a gigantic sea of gray and shit.
But while you're, that far down and while you're treading all that water and you don't have a life raft or whatever, you're not doing anything that you enjoy. You're not doing anything really at all. You're just basically, if at all, you're going through the motions of
if you're doing anything.
Looking back on it, it's you're a fucking zombie. You're practically not even living by that point. It's just a little sham of a life going on.
It's like playing at survival.
It's ridiculous.
And that's interesting because that's Marquesa, that was sort of Marquesa's point. She was if you can't get above that point, do you have the right to kill yourself? But I can't guarantee that you never get, obviously, as somebody who was there, you got above that point, and so did I, and so do a lot of other people.
You get above that point, and then you have no idea how...
You have no idea how to fucking exist.
Yeah, there's that, and then you get to that point, and I know that a lot of people, what if you lose that reason? Well, I fucking did, and there is nothing more soul-shattering, heartbreaking, it'll just throw you right back to the bottom of that pit that you were finally, out of for at least a while, and it is just that much harder to pick yourself back up and go.
That's interesting, though, because, that's sort of, reason for living. That's, a sort of interesting thing to think about, because, if you're living for other things and not for yourself, should we all strive to go to a place where we're, living for ourselves, each day? Which is, really interesting.
I suppose ideally you should, but, if you're just trying to get out of the pit...
Right? Find something. Yeah, no, I know that.
You'll take you'll grab a fucking root. You'll do whatever to get out. And then, if you can hold on to that reason long enough to, stay out long enough to where you can get to a point in your life where you're living for yourself, that's awesome. That's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah. But I had to use...
Other thing. Well, obviously, you can't, just, crawl out and be birds
it's
singing.
It's a really long and hard journey.
Oh, no, it is. It's fucking terrible. And, obviously, I still have, I still go
and we all know, I still have issues. I just will randomly have mental breakdowns for no reason at all.
Yeah.
And then, But, you know, it's...
Yeah, I have, like, backslides into, like...
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and eating disorder and shit. And I just have, like, all this shit going on. And it's just, like, and so, like, obviously, like, you deal with that. And I don't know, like, it's all really hard.
But not everybody is, you know, as well equipped as other people.
That is true. Like, you have everybody has different capabilities, and, like, you do what you can with what you have, or you don't. I mean, and, like, if you aren't doing something, maybe you just don't, I don't know. See, it's so hard, you guys, and I don't know what to do here.
So, there is really no, like, right and wrong, black and white, anything at all. Like, it's all just, like, this muddled gray heap of shit, and you're like...
And you're just like,
where do I even begin?
And it doesn't, and it stays like that because nobody talks about it.
And I mean, everybody is so different for, like, each individual, which is part of the reason why it really can't be treated in the same way that you treat other stuff, where there's, like, a certain set of... No, it's just completely different for everybody.
And it's so easy for people to say, well, that's not fucking real because I don't experience it like that.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, you don't, because... Oh, my God. Anyway... This actually is a half hour long. We did it anyway. I'm so sorry, you guys. But anyway,
sorry, this is a mess. My fault.
No, it's alright. Like, it's alright. It was going to be a long video, and I knew it was going to be a long video. But, like, I don't know. And, like, as somebody, like, Kessa has come to me several times and said, I love you, and I need you to know that it's not your fault, but I'm going to kill myself, and when it happens, there's nothing you can do about it. And, like, what do you do with that? You know, like, what do you do with that? And now she's... You guys both know she is in a hospital now, and I'm guessing, and right now the best option is to leave her there, I think. Which am I right in doing that? Am I right in saying no, you can't stay with me because I can't care for you? Should I even be attempting to care for her, or should I just let her do her shit? You know, like these are the things that we have to deal with in life, and talking about it is important. I'm sorry that this has been so rambly and so ridiculous and so fucking long. Jaden, your video was like 9.5 minutes long. This is 20 fucking minutes long. Please just kill me. Please just rip my face off and eat it or feed it to wolves or something. I don't even know. Anyway, this is Erica. Again, thank you for guest starring on my talk show. We're fucking terrible people.
Next week on really long rants about stuff nobody wants to fucking talk about.
Right? We'll be
delving a bit into religion.
No, yay! And philosophy. No, oh my god, can we make this a regular thing?
Oh,
no, could. I don't know. We'll have to ask them. I don't know if they want to sit and look at us for a half hour. We could do
it for our fucking selves.
We can put it on a different YouTube channel. Anyway,
no offense to you guys, but if you don't want to watch it, we'll do this for our own thing.
Anyway, I'm so sorry. Let us know, though. Let us know.
Yeah, because if so, we are totally prepared to talk our asses off for hours at a time about shit that nobody else wants to talk about.
It's true.
I love talking about uncomfortable things.
Me too. Well, it's like, fucking important.
This is hard, but, like, it's one of those things that it just has to be said.
Yeah.
Whereas those are things nobody just wants to hear.
Right, though? Like, and if you guys think I've been insensitive about something, or if you think I was, like, batshit, or if you're offended or something, please, like, tell me and, like, react to me, because new perspectives on this sort of thing are really important, and I think that, like, the discourse...
I almost ditto that, except for if you're offended, well, it's just my opinion, so...
I know, but, like it's important to know.
I know. I mean, I don't... But I'm, like... I'm not gonna be like, oh, I offended you, here, let me take it back, because it's just what...
I'll be, like, no, but, like, but I do need to know, and I need to, like...
So if they are offended by me, let me know, and I will just say, well, I just won't show up in your video anymore.
And I'll either care or I won't. No, I think
it's really hard to make myself care about if I offend complete strangers.
There is that. Well, and it's just
whereas
like also,
you actually know them.
Yeah, well, and if I've been offensive, it could be there's something that I was like, you know, people come to you and they're like, this is why it was offensive, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe, oh wow, that was a shitty thing to do.
I do that sometimes, but like. Most of the time, it's just, I don't, like, actually, honestly, for me, it's because I just almost never get offended. Like, it is so hard to offend me that I don't even realize that maybe something sounds offensive to, like, other people. Like, I don't know. I'm weird, I guess.
No, okay, no, we have to stop. It's 25 minutes.
We do.
I love you guys. Again, thank you for putting up with me And I know I brought Erica in on this, which was not part of our original agreement.
Sorry.
I apologize for breaking the rules. Were there rules? There weren't rules.
Well, you also said that you weren't going to go past 5 minutes.
Shut up. I know, I'm really sorry. I love you. Again, if you have anything to say, I'd really like to hear it because this is an important sort of topic. Bye.